Good morning, everybody. I trust that everybody had a great weekend. I had a few things on my mind I want to talk about, and this is your Monday's encouragement. What system are you following? Are we following the global positioning system? Or are we following God's positioning system? I had the opportunity to go and get away this weekend, and it was very well needed time. But every time I do this, I seek the Lord's guidance from my regular routine of things to, Lord, am I on the right path? Am I doing your will, Father? And I got to see and observe a lot of different people around me. There's a lot of movement going on down there at the beach, the end of the year, seasons changing, and there was people down the beach coast, thousands of people. And maybe I have a tendency to overthink or to analyze things a little bit too much now, but I used to not do that. I used to not think about things. I used to not analyze things. I just did them, and there were consequences to that. So now I look at and I watch. I love the people watch, to see, to think, and I sit there and I think about what are they thinking about, Lord? And I'm sitting there on the beach communicating with God, and I'm asking God, how many of these people out here are talking to you like I am right now, Lord? How many of these people are on that path that you've set before us? How many are going to go through that gate that Jesus talks about in Matthew 7? This morning when I got up, the verse of the day was Psalms 23:4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Watching these people and thinking about what they're thinking about. I've seen a young man sitting there reading a book, and I've seen people throwing footballs and all kinds of hacky sacks and drinking and partying going on. And my question to y'all this Monday is, what will you be found doing when the Lord comes back? I pray and hope that I'm spending time with my family and teaching them about Jesus, or that I'm doing something that He's called me to do. I hope that I'm busy doing His work no matter where I'm at and no matter where I go. So I want to ask again, what positioning system are you following? Are you following God's positioning system or the global positioning system? A little tongue-tied this morning. So observing all this, I got a chance to go to a church down there, and I wasn't looking for a specific church to go to. They do attend a certain church down there, but it was questionable whether we were going to go while we were down there. And I got to looking on my phone, and this church popped up, and I got to looking at this church, Lifeline Ministries. And some of the things that they're doing are similar to what the Lord has gifted me with and surrendered ministries with. So I told my wife about it and reached out to them, and we decided to go. And what a blessing it was. What a blessing it was. I believe that there's no coincidences in this world. When you take the time to seek the Lord, He puts a path in front of you that you should be attentive to and follow it. However, there are times that people are doing things that you shouldn't be so quick to jump in and follow. For instance, we were coming back on the highway, and there were several people cutting off the highway because there were accidents in front of us. And we sat in this line on the Interstate 65 for, a good 30 minutes or so. And I'm watching people just get off into the grass and drive down past us to go through this short little narrow path to get to the other side, to turn around and go to the previous exit. And I got to watching their cars, and I'm thinking, I cut grass and by highways, and I know that there's probably something in these, could potentially be something in that grass that could mess our vehicle up. So I just watched, and we got to looking on the GPS and, trying to analyze, should we go through this this wasn't even a road, it was a little dirt road that cut across the interstate from the medium. And, questionable. I'm in my wife's car. I'm not in the truck or anything like that, even though it's an SUV. And I'm just analyzing, and I'm watching these other cars, and very few vehicles went through that narrow path of that highway. And we got up closer, and, thinking about it, I made the decision to take that path. And sure enough, it got us moving. We got these two babies in the car, and the car's not moving. They want to get out. So we got to keep it moving to get to our destination. We ended up getting home safely, but I just couldn't help to think about these things this morning and all weekend of our positioning system. What will you be found doing when the Lord comes back? Are you following that straight and narrow path that leads to the gate of salvation and eternity? Are you letting the Lord position you, or the world? May God be with you this week and put you in the right position. Love y'all.